Excited to bring some new functionality to the text tool, and we've always been able to work with true type fonts, but in the Floriane Total Control software we made it even easier to work with true type fonts and convert them into stitches. And so I wanted to go ahead and show you some of the changes that we've made to working with true type text. We always had the ability to go to File and import true type text, where you could type your text in and then even select a font that you wanted to use and bring into the software, and then you could hit OK and it would bring the true type fonts into the software, and then from there you could select them and convert them to stitches if you wanted. And so it was something we've been able to do for forever with the software. But what we've done is we've added a whole new level of control to working with them in this update. So now we can hit the text icon and click on our screen. I'm going to go ahead and zoom down to about 100% here, and then I'm going to come up to the properties box and I'm going to type in true type text. And true type text, as you know, is actual fonts that are loaded onto your computer. They're not specific to the software program. So these are the same kinds of fonts that you would find if you opened up a program like Microsoft Word or any other graphic design program that worked with fonts that are loaded on your computer. Now, a lot of people will buy true type fonts and put them into their system, or there's places that you can go to get free fonts. And but so everybody's computers can be a little bit different on what they actually have loaded as true type fonts. But I want to go ahead and show you that what we need to do to get to our true type fonts is we come in the properties box under type, and we hit the drop down box and we select true type. Notice that there's true type and true type circle. This works exactly the same as working with regular keyboard fonts that come with the software. You can do it in a normal straight line, or you can do it in circular text. So we're going to go ahead and select true type, and then you'll notice that now it's changed what is showing up in the preview window. And I'm going to click this drop down box for the true type fonts. It might take it a second, but you'll notice that there's a whole different set of fonts that you'll see. These are not the fonts that come with your software, and these are not digitized fonts. By digitized, I mean they're not stitches, they're not stitch files, and so these do have to be turned into stitch files in order for your embroidery machine to work with them. But these are all the fonts that would be available in your Microsoft Word. I'm just going to come up here and I'm just going to select the Arial font and work with that. Let's see here, go ahead and find it. I'm going to work with Arial Black, and I already have the text typed in. I have true type selected. I'm going to hit apply, and you will notice that it brought the true type text into my system. Now, the unique thing that makes it different now is that before we could never use the property box to do anything with text or to select the true type text. But the other thing that we've done is added all the same editing features that you find with regular text, and we're able to apply those to the true type text. So it's really neat. It adds a whole nother level of control to working with true type lettering. And you can see that you can come in here and you can work with the spacing. So it's a really neat thing that we've been able to do for true type lettering. So we can come in here, we can even expand it just like regular text. Now, we haven't done anything with this, it's still artwork, but we can manipulate it and get it how we want it before we ever convert it into stitches. So this is a really neat. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my selection tool. I'm going to right click on this lettering, because right now it is all kind of combined together, and I want to convert this over into stitches. So I'm going to select it, I'm going to right mouse click, And I can, right from here, I can choose to convert to satin, and the other option is breaking it up. And so first, let me go ahead and convert it to a satin stitch, and you'll see that it will come in there and actually convert this into stitches. And we do have the ability to really come in and edit this, and this is the other exciting part about this software with regards to working with TrueType lettering, is because we added a whole nother level of editing for TrueType fonts as well. And so I'll show you that here in a second. So let me go ahead and undo that and bring it back to just the TrueType letters. I'm going to go one further to make sure it's still in text form, and it is. So I'm going to select it again, and I'll right click, and this time I'll select to break up the text. And when you break up the text, what you'll find is that it will just break them up into individual pieces. It no longer gives you the text properties. Once you break it up, it's no longer recognizing it as text that can be edited with the text tool. So it's one thing to keep in mind if you choose to break it apart. But the nice thing about the breaking it apart is if you're working with a little bit larger of letters, you can actually convert these letters into like applique. And so you would definitely want to take this approach and break them up. This is kind of small for applique, but you can see that I can in fact convert it over into an applique letter. And let's go ahead and zoom to fit here. I can select the letter T, and let's go ahead and convert that into a satin stitch. And you can see that it does a really good job converting this over into the letter T. But you can see that I can come in here and I can edit this TrueType letter. And one of the things that we added in this update was something new. It's this line right here. You see this little blue line that extends across, and if you right click on here, you can see that we have this add split line or delete split line. This blue line is called a split line, and basically what that means is it's splitting this one object into two, letting the software know where this break is going to take place. Because we have the upper part of the T, the stitches are going up and down, but on the bottom part of the T, they're going left to right. And this little line right here tells the software that you're breaking it up, and you're going to have a different direction going on the upper part of the T from the lower. Now watch what happens if I come in here and I grab that line, and let's say I change it and I put that line right here. Notice what happens right here in this area. Now it's telling it that I want this to be where the split takes place. So now the stitches are wrapping around, which is not what we want to have happen, because you have stitches going up and down right here, and then they're going at an angle right here. What we really want is we want the upper part of the T to be going one direction, the lower part of the T going the other direction. So this little split line is really added some really wonderful capabilities to working with these TrueType texts. And again, we call this the split line. We can go ahead and right click, we can delete the split line, we can add more split lines. Let's go ahead and just select this, and we'll delete this split line, and you can see what happens there in the software if we delete it. So I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to add one of these split lines. I'm going to drag it right across here. You just click and drag just like an angle line. You just left mouse click and drag to the other side, and then you just right mouse click and it will generate those stitches. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at this letter R. I'm going to select it, right click, convert to a satin, and let's take a look at what it does here. You can see that it has two split lines, which you'll look at it and say, well, why did it do that? Fortunately for us, we added in the ability to delete these. So let's go ahead and delete this split line, and let's go ahead and adjust this angle line to be kind of more up and down. Let me go ahead and just right mouse click so you can see kind of what's happening. See, now the stitches are going up and down and these are going left to right. I can drag this one down a little bit more if I want. So you can see that you can come in here and you can adjust this lettering to get it to how you want it to be. Let's take this U, let's convert it to a satin stitch and see how it does. It does a really good job. It puts the break right here. That's what we want. Sometimes you might look up here at the top, you might say, you know, I want this to be a little bit more straight across up here. Let's take this one, let's do the same thing with it. Right click and you can see it's a little bit smoother on this top. Same thing with down here, you can see how it's kind of angling in. I can just grab these angle lines right here, adjust it, and then flatten it out. So you have the ability to really get in and fine tune your text, your true type text, so you can convert it to stitches, and you can go in there and you can edit it using these split lines. You see this did a really good job of splitting it just right here, and it did a good job of going around in the angles as well. So it does a pretty good job, but that's always been kind of the issue with true type lettering and converting them to stitches, is that you don't always get a desired result whenever you leave it to just software, any software program, to make decisions for you. Sometimes it doesn't understand everything about embroidery, and it definitely doesn't understand it at a level of somebody who digitizes on a regular basis. And so in a lot of these things you can notice, even a beginner can notice some of the issues that software can sometimes have creating true type lettering, converting them into stitches. And that's what's great about this update and having these split lines, is that now you do have the ability to go in there and really fine tune it quickly and easily just by editing or adding these split lines and then just modifying your angle lines. So we're really excited about this new technology of being able to bring true type lettering to the text function, the text tool, giving you the ability to adjust true type lettering just like you do your text before you even ever go to convert it into stitches. So we hope that you enjoy working with the true type lettering, and again, this is available in the Floriani Total Control Professional only. And so make sure you play around with this feature and test it out, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with it like we have the last couple weeks. So hope you enjoy it.